From the Bronx, this is Kurt Berglund, fresh from a haircut, and I don't think I made a good decision. We are here with Game 3 of Batch 13 games in the 18-game mini-season Payoff Pitch Dream Season style. That's right, we're up to Game 13. Tomorrow is the Game 13 sports page, in which I will bring you the scores, the highlights, and the standings as of the end of play after Game 13. With this game played, there will be 5 games left for each team in the Dream season, and then the playoffs begin. The game tonight is the 1969 New York Mets against the 1964 New York Yankees. I chose it for several reasons. Excuse me while I vape. The first reason is that Tom Seaver and Whitey Ford are going head-to-head. The second reason is that it's a New York matchup, and I thought it might be interesting. And the third reason is that this series is a very, very important one to the 1969 Mets, who are fighting for a playoff spot in the National League. Right now, they're tied for the 5th and final playoff spot in the league. The Yankees, on the other, and the Mets are at 7-5 after 12 games. The Yankees, on the other hand, have been very inconsistent and are at 5-7. Now, I don't think that they are I know they're not mathematically eliminated from the playoff picture in the American League. But I've done some ciphering, and I'm thinking that we're getting close to needing to run the table. I feel pretty confident, the way it looks right now in both leagues, that 12-6 will be good enough for the playoffs. I'm not feeling that confident about 11-7. And I'm pretty sure 10-8 won't do it. So, if that's true, the Yankees need to run the table, starting with this game. I'm glad you joined me. Thank you, and let's have some fun with Payoff Pitch Dream Season Baseball. Let's go to the lineups. We are in Yankee Stadium, and the lineups for tonight's game look like this. Leading off for the 1969 New York Mets, Tommy Agee in center field. Batting second is Bud Harrelson, the shortstop. Batting third is Cleon Jones, the left fielder. Batting fourth is Don Clendenin, the first baseman. Batting fifth is Ron Swoboda, the right fielder. Batting sixth is Ed Charles, the third baseman. Batting seventh is Al Weiss at second base. Batting eighth and continuing to do a nice job filling in for the injured Jerry Grody, who's going to be out 4 more games, it's Duffy Dyer. And on the mound for the New York Mets and batting ninth, it's Tom Seaver. Tom was 25-7 with a 2.21 earned run average in 1969. He had 18 complete games and 273 innings pitched. For the homestanding 1964 New York Yankees, it's Tom Tresh in left field, leading off. Bobby Richardson bats second at second base. Roger Maris bats third in right field. Mickey Mantle bats fourth in center field. Elston Howard bats fifth and does the catching. Joe Pepitone bats sixth and plays first base. Clete Boyer bats seventh and plays third base. And Phil Linz fills in for the injured Tony Kubek at shortstop and bats eighth. And batting ninth and on the mound tonight for the Yankees is the old warhorse, Whitey Ford. 36 games started in 1964, 12 completed, 244 innings pitched, and a 17-6 record with a 2.13 earned run average. The wily left-hander, by this point in his career, needs to deliver the goods tonight and give the Yankees a win. We'll see if he can beat Seaver. We are ready to start, and Tommy Agee steps into the batter's box, and here's the first pitch from Whitey Ford. Hey, struck him out, and there's one gone in the top of the first. We're underway in the Bronx. Whitey's off to a good start. Harrelson steps in, 186 against left-handers for Bud. He lifts this one to left field. Tom Tresh coming on, and he's going to make the catch for out number 2 in the top of the first. And now it's Cleon Jones. Cleon, 338 against left-handed pitching in 1969. And this time he singles to center field, where Mickey Mantle's going to collect it and toss it back into Bobby Richardson, and the Mets have a man aboard with 2 out in the top of the first. Don Clendenin steps in. Pitch to Don is a base hit right up the middle, past Ford, and grounded into center field. Cleon Jones will stop at second base. There's 2 on with 2 outs now for Ron Swoboda. And Ron hit 242 against left-handers on the season. Whitey Ford to the belt. The pitch home to Swoboda is a base hit to right center. This is going to score Jones from second base. Clendenin is going to go to third. It's 1-0 Mets in the top of the first. Not the start that Yogi Berra was hoping for in the Yankee dugout. Ed Charles comes to the plate with Clendenin on third, Swoboda on first, and he hit 186 against left-handers as Ford goes to the belt. And Charles corks this one down the line to right field. Maris is going to have to go get it in the corner. This is going to score Clendenin, and Swoboda will get to third before Roger can get it back in. It's 2-0 Mets in the top of the first. Al Weiss comes to the plate. Swoboda at third. Charles at second. Weiss at the plate. 2 outs. Ford to the belt. Checks the runners. The pitch home to Weiss. He hangs it. And it's a base hit for Weiss. This one goes to the opposite field to in front of Maris. Swoboda scores easily from third. Here comes Ed Charles. Around third, they are going to wave him. The throw coming on from Maris is not in time. Weiss drives home 2 runs with a single to right. Swoboda and Charles both score. It's 4-0 Mets in the top of the first inning. Yankee playoff hopes are on life support, and Whitey Ford spits the bit in the top of the first. Ford to the belt. The pitch to Duffy Dyer is a base hit for Dyer into the gap. Right center field. Mantle gets it, whirls and throws. Weiss already to third base, and the Mets have runners at the corners again, and the bullpen is active now for New York. Bud Daly starting to throw for the Yankees in the bullpen. 4-0 Mets with Seaver coming to the plate. This inning, more than Tom Terrific could have hoped for. Weiss at third, Dyer at first, Ford to the belt, the pitch to Seaver. Hey, struck him out, but boy, oh boy, a 4 spot for the 69 Mets in the top of the first. And now all the Yankees have to do is climb back in the game against Tom Seaver. Ford visibly upset with himself as he walks to the dugout. Yankees have an uphill battle now against Seaver. We're going to the bottom of the first. It's Tresh, Richardson, and Maris coming up for the Yankees. Tresh, 246 against right-handers. The pitch, hey, struck him out. 1 gone in the bottom of the first. Richardson coming to the plate. Bobby, 279 against righties. He draws a walk. And that's what the Yankees needed, is a base runner. Now Maris, 300 against right-handed pitching on the season. Yankees facing a 4-0 battle. Hey, strikes out Maris, 2 gone in the first. And now Mantle, 241 for the Mick against right-handers. Hey, strikes out the side. Seaver walks a batter, but strikes everybody else out. We go to the second. It's 4-0 Mets in the Bronx. We got a contingent of Met fans here cheering on their team. And we're at the top of the order now in the second inning for Tommy Agee for the Mets. It's Tommy Agee, Bud Harrelson, and Cleon Jones. Ford winds and pitches. It's a comebacker. He gloves it and flips to Joe Pepitone, and there's 1 gone in the top of the second. Harrelson steps in. Bud is 0 for 1. Pitch to him. Hey, struck him out. That's Whitey's 3rd strikeout. And now Cleon Jones with 2 outs and nobody aboard. Ford winds and pitches, and this is down the line in left field. He pulls it past Boyer. It's in a rattle around in the left field corner. Tresh digs it out, throws it in, but Cleon Jones has himself a 2-out double now, and Clendenon steps in. Swoboda on deck. Yogi Berra is holding up 4 fingers. He wants Clendenon walked, and they're going to pitch to Swoboda with 2 outs now and 2 on. Jones at second, Clendenon at first. Swoboda 1 for 1 on the day with the first RBI of the game. Ford to the belt. The pitch to Ron Swoboda. Ground ball, Boyer. He's going to throw to Richardson the short way to get the out. And he does. That retires the Mets in the second. They threaten but do not score. We go to the bottom of 2. 4-0 Mets. In the bottom of the second for the Yankees, it's Howard, Pepitone, and Boyer coming up for the Yanks. Howard, 298 against right-handers. Seaver hangs one to Boyer. It's lined, a base hit to left field. He pulls it. That's the first hit of the game for the Yankees, and he's aboard at first. Pepitone comes up, 241 for Joe against righties. Seaver to the belt. The pitch. And it's a wild pitch. Dyer doesn't get in front of it. Gives it an Olay job, and Pepitone watches it go back to the screen. Howard advances to second base. There's nobody out. The Yankees have their first runner in scoring position, and Pepitone with a chance to drive him in. Joe is ahead in the count, 1-0. The pitch from Seaver is a hanger. Hit deep, right field. Swoboda to the track, to the wall. It's gone for Joe Pepitone, and all of a sudden the Mets lead is cut in half. It's 4-2 in the bottom of the second. Yankee fans liking this, and Cleet Boyer comes up with Phil Linz on deck. Cleet, 204 against righties. Seaver winds and pitches, and this is grounded to second. Al Weiss flips to Clendenon, and there's one gone. Linz coming up, 226 on the season against righties. Seaver winds and pitches, and Linz hits it to left and deep. Jones back to the wall. It's gone. Elvis has left the building, and so, unbelievably, has Phil Linz, who's taken Tom Seaver deep. I said Phil Linz has taken Tom Seaver deep. It's 4-3 Mets as we get Whitey Ford now, who's close to having a new lease on life. Seaver winds. The pitch to Whitey. He strikes out Ford. 2 gone in the bottom of the second. And now it's Tresh. Seaver winds. Throws to Tresh. It's grounded to Harrelson. Bud throws to Clendenon. And that retires the Yankees in the second. But they score 3 on 3 hits and leave none. After 2, Whitey Ford and Tom Seaver are locked up in a 4-3 lead for the Mets. For the Mets in the top of the third, it's Ed Charles, Al Weiss, and Duffy Dyer coming up to try and give Seaver some more insurance runs. Ford winds and pitches, and he strikes out Charles. That's strikeout number 4 for Whitey, who may be riding the ship here. Weiss 1 for 1 on the day. Ford winds and pitches. Base hit, Weiss center field. He's aboard. And Dyer comes to the plate. Duffy is 1 for 1. Seaver is on deck. The pitch to Duffy. Hit in the air to right. This is Maris coming in, and he'll make the catch for 2 gone. And now Seaver comes to the plate. Tom is 0 for 1. He struck out back in the first inning as the Mets batted around. Ford gets Seaver to hit this one in the air to center. That's Mickey Mantle. And he will make the catch for out number 3. So we've played 2.5, and the Mets lead 4-3. For the Yankees, in the bottom of the third, it'll be Bobby Richardson, Roger Maris, and Mickey Mantle. Richardson drew a walk in the first, but it did not lead to anything. Seaver winds. Hits this one to left. Cleon Jones backing up. He's on the track. He makes the catch for out number 1. And that'll bring up Maris, who's 0 for 1. Pitch to Roger. Ground ball Weiss. Al throws to Clendenon, and that's 2 gone. And Mickey Mantle, who's 0 for 1. Seaver struck him out in the first as well. And the Mick draws a walk this time. So with 2 outs, the Yankees have a man aboard and the lead run at the plate in Elston Howard, who singled and scored in the second. Seaver to the belt, the pitch. Popped him up. Duffy Dyer tosses away the mask and makes the catch for the third out. We go to the 4th inning. It's 4-3 Mets at Yankee Stadium. Coming up in the Mets fourth, it'll be the top of the order. A.G., Harrelson, and Cleon Jones. And if anybody gets on, Don Clendenon against Whitey Ford, who is admittedly pitching without his best stuff today, but has kept the Yankees more or less in the game. AG stands in. He's 0 for 2 today. Ford winds and throws, and it's a base hit to left field. AG is on. Harrelson coming to the plate. See what Gil Hodges has in mind here. AG works on his lead. Ford to the belt. Looks right at him. Pitch home. Harrelson squares to bunt. It's hit back to Ford. An error chance? No. No, I'm wrong. Ford fumbles it, and it's going to be a one-base error. Harrelson reaches on the E1. So there are 2 on with nobody out in the top of the fourth. As I thought Ford could make the play, but he does not. And Daly starts to throw again in the Yankee bullpen, along with Ralph Terry. It's double-barreled action in the Yankee bullpen. Ford to the belt. He's facing Cleon Jones, who's 2 for 2. He just walked Cleon Jones on 4 pitches. And Clendenon comes to the plate looking to hit. And is that going to be it for Whitey Ford? No, it's not. Bear is on the top step of the dugout. Clendenon stands in against Ford. The pitch. Hit to center. Mickey Mantle is going to make the catch. And the runners will hold. So there's 1 gone in the top of the fourth. Base is still loaded now for Swoboda. AG at third, Harrelson at second, Jones at first, Ford to the belt. The pitch home to Ron Swoboda. Hey, struck him out. 2 gone. Is Ford going to wiggle off the hook? Ed Charles comes to the plate. They're still loaded. Charles is 1 for 2 with an RBI double and a run scored back in the first. Ford to the belt. The pitch to Charles. Ground ball, Richardson. He's going to go the short way to Linz, covering second, and Whitey Ford wriggles off the hook of a bases loaded and nobody out situation. The Mets do not score. We go to the bottom of the fourth. It's 4-3 Mets. Pepitone, Boyer, and Linz coming to the plate for the Yankees. Joe hit a 2-run bomb in the second to get the Yankees back into it. The pitch to him here is a base hit to right field. Joe Pepitone is getting hot. He's been ice cold all season. Boyer stands in, 0 for 1 for Cleat. Seaver to the belt. This is hit toward Harrelson. Bud makes the play to first base. Pepitone advances to second, and that retires Boyer. And now Linz with a man on second and 1 out with Whitey Ford on deck. But is he going to bat? We'll see. Still have Terry and Daly throwing in the Yankee bullpen. Seaver to the belt. The pitch to Phil Linz. Ground ball, Harrelson. This will hold Pepitone at second. 2 gone. And Ford will bat for himself. Yeah, he's going to bat for himself. He's 0 for 1. Seaver to the belt. The pitch home. He strikes him out. Seaver's got 5 strikeouts on the game. And we go to the 5th inning. The Mets clinging to a 4-3 lead in the Bronx. Ford back out. Weiss, Dyer, and Seaver, the bottom third of the Mets order coming up in the 5th. They want an insurance run. Let's see if Ford obliges. Whitey the wind and the pitch. Hey, strikes him out. For Ford, that is strikeout number 6 on the evening, and we'll get Duffy Dyer now. Duffy's 1 for 2. Ford winds and the pitch. Base hit in front of Tresh, and it'll be a base hit for Dyer. He's on with a single, and now Seaver comes to the plate. Not much of a bunter in 69. Let's see what they decide to do with him. Pitch to Seaver. He squares to bunt. He pops it up. Berra's got it. He fires to Pepitone, and Dyer's too far off the bag. Seaver pops up the bunt into a double play. Duffy Dyer can't get back. It's a soul-crushing, rally-killing double play for the Mets, and that retires the side in the top of the 5th. We're halfway through, and the Mets are leading 4-3 in this one. For the Yankees, it's the top of the order in the bottom of the 5th. Tresh, Richardson, and Maris will be coming to the plate. For the Bronx Bombers, Seaver winds and pitches. Ground ball, Charles. Ed throws to Clendenon for out number 1. Seaver seems to be over whatever afflicted him in the 2nd inning, but we'll see if the Yankees can scrape up another run or two. Seaver winds and throws to Richardson. Ground ball, Charles. He gloves it, throws to Clendenon. 2 gone. And now Maris, who's 0 for 2. Seaver winds, and it's a hanger, and it's to center field. Agee on the run. Track, wall. Elvis has left the building. So has Roger Maris. It's a 4-4 ball game in the Bronx. We're brand new. Bottom of the 5th. 4-4 in a game the Yankees have absolutely got to have. Mantle comes to the plate with 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th. Seaver. Hey, strikes him out, and that is strikeout number 6 for Seaver. We go to the 6th inning. Neither ace of their team on top of their game today, but they are in the game. It's 4-4 as we go to the 6th. Top of the order for the Mets, Agee, Harrelson, and Jones for the Mets. Got to start over. We got a brand new ball game. Agee is 1 for 3. And this is grounded to short. Linz throws to Pepitone, and there's 1 man out. Harrelson comes up, 0 for 3 for Bud. Ford winds. Hit to left. Tresh with plenty of room. 2 gone. And now Cleon Jones. 2 for 2 with a walk. The pitch from Ford, it's a hanger. This is to left and deep. Towards the line, towards the foul pole. Tresh can't get it. It's off the foul pole. And gone for Cleon Jones. The Mets have the lead again at 5-4. Ford gets a new lease on life and gives it right back. Clendenon coming to the plate. Don is 1 for 2 with an intentional walk. Ford winds. And the pitch to Don Clendenon is a base hit to right field. It lands in front of Maris. Clendenon is on. Swoboda comes up. Ron is 1 for 3. Clendenon on first. Ford to the belt. The pitch home. Hey, struck him out. Number 7, but Ford allows the 5th Mets run, which gives the Mets the lead again. It's 5-4 Mets, and we're going to the bottom of the 6th. Howard, Pepitone, and Boyer for the Yankees. Howard is 1 for 2. Seaver winds the pitch. Ground ball, Harrelson. He throws to Clendenon, and there's 1 gone in the bottom of the 6th. Pepitone, 2 for 2. Seaver winds. He lost him. Ball 4. Tying run on at first base now for Boyer, 0 for 2. Seaver to the belt, checks Pepe at first, the pitch home. Hey, strikes him out, number 7 for Seaver, and now Linz comes up, Ford on deck. Pepitone at first, there's 2 men out. Seaver to the belt, the pitch. Ground ball, Weiss, he's going to go the short way to Harrelson to force Pepitone, and he does. That retires the Yankees in the 7th. We're going, or in the 6th, we're going to the 7th now, and Ford will come back out to start this inning. It's 5-4 Mets. For the Mets, it's Charles, Weiss, and Dyer coming up. Ed 1 for 3 on the evening. Mets would love an insurance run. Pitch to Charles. Comebacker, gloved by Ford. He turns and throws to Pepitone. There's 1 gone in the 7th. Al Weiss is 2 for 3 with a huge 2-run single back in the first inning. Hey, strikes out, 8 for Ford now. 8 strikeouts for Whitey Ford, and with 2 outs, it's Duffy, Dyer, and Seaver on deck. Duffy is 2 for 3. Ford winds and pitches. Long base hit. Mantle cuts it off in the gap. He turns and throws, and Dyer will be satisfied with a single. It's a base hit and 2 outs now for Seaver. Tom is 0 for 3. Ford to the belt, checks Dyer at first. The pitch home. Hey, struck him out. 9 Ks for Ford now. We go to the bottom of the 7th. It's time to stretch him out in the Bronx. But the Yankees trail 5-4 as Seaver comes back out to take the mound. We're going to see a pinch hitter. We're going to see a pinch hitter for Ford. And then Tresh, and then Bobby Richardson. Johnny Blanchard gets the nod to be the pinch hitter for Ford in the bottom of the 7th. Blanchard, a .247 hitter with 7 home runs in limited duty against right-handers on the season. He's not quick, so they may run for him if he gets on. Bottom of the 7th, Seaver winds and throws, and ground ball Harrelson. He throws to Clendenon, and there's 1 man out in the 7th. Tresh, 0 for 3. Seaver winds, the pitch. Hey, strikes him out. That's number 8 for Seaver. 2 outs are now, and nobody aboard for Richardson. Bobby is 0 for 2 with a walk. Seaver winds and pitches. Ground ball Harrelson. He throws to Clendenon. That retires the Yankees in the 7th. We go to the 8th. Mets 5, Yankees 4. New pitcher coming out for the Yankees they're going to go with Stan Williams, who will bat ninth. Williams, 21 games, 10 of them starts, 1 complete game, no saves, 82 innings on the season, a 1-5 record with a 384 earned run average. In the bullpen for the Yankees, Steve Hamilton and Hal Reniff are throwing. For the Mets, it's the top of the order. Agee, Harrelson, and Jones to face the right-hander Williams in the top of the 8th. Tommy is 1 for 4. Gil Hodges would love an insurance run, and so would Mr. Seaver. There's action in the Mets bullpen. Tug McGraw and Ron Taylor are throwing, the short men for the Mets, who've been used a lot, but the Mets are winning. And when the Mets win, you use your short men. Your best ones, anyway. Agee stands in. The pitch from Williams. Hit in the air to left, but not deep. Tom Tresh is there, and that's 1 gone. Bud Harrelson is 0 for 4. Williams winds, and the pitch to Bud. Hit to center. Here comes Mantle. And he makes a nice running catch for 2 gone. And now Cleon Jones, 3 for 3. A homer, a double, a walk, 2 runs scored, an RBI. And then later he's going to drive everybody home. Williams winds and pitches. He walks Cleon Jones. Cleon with his 2nd walk of the game. And now it's Clendenon, 2 for 3 for Don. Williams to the belt. He checks Jones. The pitch. He hit it. He hit Clendenon with a pitch. And now it's going to be Swoboda, and here comes Yogi. He's had enough of Stan Williams. It's going to be Hal Reniff to come on and try and get the Yankees out of this 8th inning mess. Reniff, 41 games, 9 saves, 69 innings, a 6-4 record with a 312 earned run average in 1964. Swoboda is 1 for 4. And it's tempting to go to Shamsky here, and they're going to do it. That's going to bring on Art Shamsky out of the dugout. The left-handed hitting part of the right field platoon for Gil Hodges. So Swoboda is done with a 1 for 4 day. Shamsky, 292 against right-handers. Jones at second, Clendenon at first, 2 men out, Reniff to the belt. The pitch to Art Shamsky. Hit in the air to center. This is toward right center. Mantle on the run. Maris on the run. And Mantle makes the catch for the out number 3. That will retire the side in the 8th. Shamsky will get his glove and head out to right field in the bottom of the 8th. Reniff does his job, and Seaver comes back out for the Mets. It's a 5-4 Met lead in the bottom of the 8th. Maris, Mantle, and Howard, the meat of the Bronx Bombers order, coming up in the bottom of the 8th. Maris 1 for 3 with a dong in the 5th. Seaver winds, and the pitch. Hey, struck him out. That's strikeout number 9 for Seaver. Mantle. Mickey 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts and a walk. Seaver winds. Hey, struck him out. 10 on the day for Seaver. And now Howard with Pepitone on deck. Elston 1 for 3. He swings. It's deep. Left field. Jones to the wall. It's gone. Howard's left the building. So has Elvis. We're back to even at 5 in the bottom of the 8th. Here comes Gil Hodges. That's it for Seaver. And we're going to have Tug McGraw on to face Pepitone in the bottom of the 8th. We are back to even at 5 apiece. Both of these teams want this game badly. We're going to have a double switch. Tug McGraw will bat 4th. Don Clendenin is coming out of the game, and Ed Kranepool will be the new first baseman for the Mets. And he will bat 9th in Seaver's spot. So that's it for Clendenin. But McGraw has Pepitone to worry about. There's 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th. There's nobody on, and the Yankees have just tied the score at 5. Pepitone is 2 for 2 with a walk. McGraw winds and delivers. Base hit, left field. Pepitone takes McGraw the other way, and Joe is 3 for 3. Clete Boyer will come to the plate. Clete is 0 for 3. McGraw to the belt. Checks Pepitone. The pitch. Ground ball Weiss. He's going to go the short way to Harrelson, and that retires the Yankees in the bottom of the 8th. We go to the 9th. We've decided nothing. It's 5-5. Yankees and Mets all tied up in the Bronx. Hal Reniff coming back out. Ed Charles is due. And they're going to let Ed bat. He's 1 for 4 on the day. Weiss is on deck. Reniff winds. The pitch. Hit to left. That's Tresh in his tracks. 1 out. Weiss is due. Weiss is being called back, and it's going to be Kenny Boswell pinch hitting for Weiss. Steve Hamilton is throwing in the Yankee bullpen. Reniff winds, and the pitch to Boswell. Base hit, right field. Pulls it between Richardson and Pepitone. Boswell is aboard with a single, and now Duffy Dyer is scheduled. Are they going to go with the Duffer? No, they're not. No, they're not. It's going to be Wayne Garrett to pinch hit for Dyer. Yogi Berra checking out his lineup card, but not calling for Steve Hamilton, at least not yet. Nope, he's going to let Reniff face him. Boswell's on first. Garrett is at bat. There's 1 man out. Reniff to the belt. The pitch home to Wayne Garrett. Ground ball Linz. He goes to Richardson for 1, to Pepitone for a soul-crushing, rally-killing double play for the Yankees to turn it and shut the Mets down in the top of the 9th. Reniff gets into a little bit of a jam, but gets out of it, and we're going to see a new catcher for the Mets. It's going to be J.C. Martin. Boswell will be the new second baseman. And I guess that'll do it for the changes. For New York. Tug McGraw back out on the mound for the bottom of the 9th and hoping he can force extra innings. Phil Linz, who homered off Tom Seaver, from which I'm still recovering, back in the second inning. Phil is 1 for 3. Reniff is standing in the on-deck circle, but he is not going to bat, and Tug McGraw is on the mound. The wind from McGraw and the pitch to Linz. Hit to center. Agee toward left center. Will get there and make the catch for out number 1. Reniff being called back. That's it for Hal. He gets a handshake from Yogi, and it's going to be Hector Lopez to bat for Reniff in the bottom of the 9th. McGraw winds, and the pitch to Hector. To center, driving Agee back to the track. He's got it for out number 2. And now Tresh. Tom is 0 for 4. Bottom of the 9th, 2 outs. McGraw winds. The pitch. Hey, struck him out, and we're going extra innings in the Bronx today. 5-5 is our score. We're going to have a new pitcher for the Yankees coming out. It's going to be Steve Hamilton, left-handed specialist of sorts. They didn't really have those in 64, but doesn't look like he faced a whole lot of righties. Steve, 30 games, 3 starts, 1 complete, 3 saves, 60 innings, a 7-2 record with a .328 earned run average. And he's got Ed Kranepool coming to the plate right now. Out of the dugout comes a pinch hitter for Kranepool. It's going to be Rod Gasper. A fleet-footed outfielder for the 69 Mets with a .263 average against left-handed pitching. Tommy Agee is on deck. Hamilton winds and delivers the first pitch. It's a base hit into left field for Gasper. He's aboard. Nobody out. Agee up, and we're seeing Terry and Daly coming back for the Yankees. Double-barreled action in their bullpen. Yogi pulling out all the stops. Agee at the plate. Are they going to ask him to bunt? Hamilton to the belt. Checks Gasper at first. The pitch home. Agee is not bunting. The pitch. He walked him. Ball 4 to Tommy Agee. And now Bud Harrelson comes up. Gasper strolls down to second base. Agee at first. Nobody out in the Mets' 10th. Ron Taylor is warming in the Mets bullpen. Bud Harrelson at the plate. Hamilton to the belt, checks Gasper at second. The pitch home, Harrelson squares. He gets it down. It's in front of the plate. Howard gloves it. And throws to first to retire Harrelson. That's 2-4 on the sacrifice, sending Gasper to third and AG to second with 2 men out. And here comes Yogi. He wants Hamilton out of there. And that means we're going to see Ralph Terry. Ralph Terry is on in the top of the 10th to face Cleon Jones. In the on-deck circle is Bobby File to bat for McGraw. And Ron Taylor is throwing in the Mets bullpen. He is a right-hander. So Jones is up. First base is open. Now they could walk Jones to get to File. And that's what they're going to do. They're going to load the bases to get to Bobby File, and they're going to bring the infield in. So, with 1 man out, the Yankees are playing the infield in. And Bobby File is pinch hitting for Tug McGraw in the 10th inning. So Gasper is at third. AG is at second. Jones is at first. There's 1 man out. File is at bat. Ralph Terry is on the mound. Bud Daly is in the bullpen. He is a left-hander. Art Shamsky is on deck. Terry to the belt. He checks the runners. The pitch home to File. It's a hanger. It's a hanger. This one is down the line in right field. He swings late. It gets past Pepitone and rolls all the way into the corner. All the way into the corner. Gasper scores from third. AG scores from second. Jones scores all the way from first. Bobby File has hit a 3-run double down the right field line, and that's not what Yogi Berra was looking for. The score now is 8-5 Yankees, and here comes Yogi again. He wants Bud Daly to pitch to Shamsky. Terry is done. Daly is on. Shamsky is up. Ed Charles is on deck. There's 1 man out. The Mets dugout. I'll get it out. Don't worry. I'll say it. The Mets dugout is jubilant. And the pitch to Shamsky from Daly comes like this. It is a base hit. Shamsky. That will go to left field. It drops in front of Tresh. File keeps running and scores on the base hit by Art Shamsky. It's 9-5 Mets, and Ed Charles comes to the plate. There's no action in the Yankee bullpen. It's Bud Daly's deal. Charles is 1 for 5. Daly checks Shamsky at first. The pitch home. Hey, strikes him out. 2 gone. And now Ken Boswell. Daly to the belt. The pitch to Boswell. Ground ball lands. He's going to go to Richardson, and that will retire the Mets to... Are those Boo-Birds I'm hearing in the Bronx? As the Mets put up a 4 spot in the top of the 10th to take a 9-5 lead in the first game of this 3-gamer. Ron Taylor is coming on to try and close this thing. File is going to play third base in the bottom of the 10th. Taylor comes in Ed Charles' spot in the order, which is the number 6 spot. And it'll be Richardson, Maris, and Mantle as the Yankees try and climb up from off the deck of a 9-5 deficit in the bottom of the 10th. Taylor winds the pitch to Richardson. Hey, swings, and it's left field. Into left center, cut off by Jones. It does not get to the wall. Richardson's going to make second, though, a double. And now Gil Hodges is going to go to his bullpen phone. He's going to get Nolan Ryan and Cal Kuntz throwing. Maris comes to the plate. Rogers 1 for 4. He homered off Seaver. Taylor to the belt. The pitch to Maris. Hit in the air to left towards the line. Jones on the run. On the run, he's going to get there. There's one gone in the bottom of the 10th. Richardson returns to second base. Mantle comes to the plate. Mickey's 0 for 3. Taylor to the belt. The pitch. Mantle swings. It's grounded to second. Kenny Boswell gloves it and throws to Cranepool with Richardson advancing to third. But now there's 2 outs for Elston Howard. Elston Howard hit the home run in the bottom of the 8th that tied us up and basically forced extra innings with his shot. 2 for 4 for Elston today. Taylor winds and pitches and base hit. Right field. Elston Howard drives in. Richardson, it's 9-6. Yankees aren't giving up. Pepitone 3 for 3. He's in there now. Hodges looking fidgety in the Mets dugout. Taylor to the belt, checks Howard. The pitch home to Pepitone. Ground ball. File. He's going to throw to Boswell covering second, and the Mets win in 10 innings, 9-6. Let's give you the totals. For the victorious New York Mets, world champs in 1969, 9 runs. On 17 base hits. And they committed no errors. For the vanquished 1964 Yankees, 6 runs on 9 hits, and they committed 1 error. The winning pitcher is Tug McGraw. The losing pitcher is Steve Hamilton. And there is no save because Ron Taylor just wasn't good, but you can't get a save that way. So the Mets beat the Yankees 9-6. The Mets become an 8-5 ball club and certainly improve their standing for a playoff position. The 64 Yankees dropped to 5-8 and are just about out of it, I would say, unless something very unusual happens. Certainly one more loss would do it, but I think this game, knocks the Yankees out. So, with that, I want to thank you again for joining me. This has been the Payoff Pitch Dream Season. Please join me tomorrow for the Sports Page 13 with a review of all the scores and highlights and the standings after 13 games in the Payoff Pitch Dream Season. My name's Kurt Berglund. We got to stick together, folks. Hope you have a good night. So long, everybody.